Hey guys, Sublord here, back again with another action figure review. Today we'll be taking a look at the DC Multiverse Target exclusive. Oh jeez, kinda, sorta. At least isn't a Marvel Legends Target exclusive. We're not even gonna talk about those here. A, because I didn't find them, and B, because they pissed me off. That said, today we're gonna be taking a look at Wildcat from the Justice Society of America. Brought to us by the fine folks over at McFarlane Toys and also the Target app, because my local Target did not have this guy. They had the other one, the other exclusive here, who I just knocked over like a total klutz. Old Orion here, which, funny story, well, two actually. First and foremost, these guys are on the same body. So if you don't like reuse, this is really gonna irk you something awful. But funny story, friend of the channel, Evil Villain, his girlfriend's actually the one that sent me the links for these on said Target app. So shout out to Ms. Villain for the hookup on that. I appreciate that very much so, because I had the money to grab these. I really wanted to grab these. I knew these would be good figures. And for the most part, they is. Very good, in fact. Because the body buck, while it is reused, I don't know if you can recognize it there, but I do believe it is the same body buck as the Electric Blue Superman. Or the Speeding Bullets Batman. Feels like it's a combination of reuse between those two body molds, which is something we don't see with McFarlane Toys. They usually just reuse the whole thing, and they don't swap parts out. But the torso definitely feels like, you know, that Electric Blue Superman, or his review will go up the next couple of days here, but Effigy, the Green Lantern villain. And then the limbs definitely feel like the Speeding Bullets Batman, which, those are good parts. Anatomically speaking, very well sculpted. If you don't like the seam lines, I get it, but it's not something that bothers me. Commander Steel also used those parts. I think he's the most recent figure we looked at that has those. But with all that rambling about out of the way, why don't we cut right to the chase and get into the meat and taters up this review and take a look, see at all Wildcat has to offer in terms of accessories, which is going to be the shortest part of the video because he only comes with the card. But he comes with the collectible trading card, which, by the way, actually has some good info on the back, like stats and stuff. Really reminds me of the Mattel DC Classics line, because they used to do that. Like first appearance, base of operations, real name, all that good stuff. So that's cool. On top of the fact that this is a classic look for Wildcat and not some crazy death metal, Dark Knights metal, speed metal, whatever variant that we're used to seeing from when McFarlane Toys started making DC figures. So why don't we take a closer look at him. He does have a hockey puck display stand. We're used to seeing with all McFarlane Toys releases, but that is it. I imagine the hands will pop off quite easily. I'm not going to do that. But if you wanted to, I'm sure you can find something to put there. But he's the only one with these wraps. That said, if you wanted to make a custom McFarlane Toys Daredevil, you could get a custom head and like paint this guy red. It'll look pretty cool, but because he has those wraps at some point, doesn't he? But as far as his articulation goes, his head, pretty good range going up and down. Tilt side to side is good. Rotation is good. I mean, look at the silhouette this guy cuts. He's got the broad shoulders, the slimmed out waist, hips stick out a little bit. His arms hang low enough, but not too low to make them look like a monkey. Very nice sculpt, as my Butterfingers almost drops him. Shoulders will go out to the side about this far. He's got the beautiful butterfly in there, but on this side it gets a little sticky, so I'm gonna be mindful of that. You can rotate all the way around. He's got a bicep swivel, double elbow, and that's about the only area on the figure that's kind of whack, is he's got the mad clips of Dover going on there. He's got him something awful. But he does also have the ball hinge wrists that will hinge, rotate, and twist. got a diaphragm joint, which will move this far forward, which isn't very far. This far back, which isn't very far back. It is a little loose on mine, but I just gotta find that sweet spot and get it situated there. Which I might even do my torso mod to that. See if that helps. I could also pinch this midsection closed a bit, and that might help too. So we'll see about all of that. He does have a waist twist. That works fine. He does lean back and forth a little more with that. Hips will kick out to the side, back down. They'll kick forward and back. He's got a thigh cut a little bit. You can see the seam line on the pant there. It only goes, it actually does not go down the whole leg. I just realized that. Same thing with the arms here. He only really seems to have it on the bicep. And maybe a little bit on the shoulder, but not the forearm because he's got the new forearms with the wraps. So that's a little funky. He also has this wrinkle on the back of his neck here. It doesn't continue to the other side of his neck, so I'm assuming it's just that, a wrinkle, but very odd. But either way, he does have double jointed knees. Those work fine. No cliffs of Dover going on there. It's a little flab, but it doesn't look too egregious. And then he does have ball hinge ankles that will rotate, hinge, and pivot. And then he does have a toe joint. And pick holds the bottom of the feet for the stand. So, very awesome figure. I like this guy a lot. I always liked Wildcat. Can't help but hear the late, great Gunnery Sergeant's voice come out of this character anytime I see him. Batman Brave and the Bold, for those of you who are wondering. Because no, he did not voice him in Justice League Unlimited. Which reminds me, I'm really hoping that now that we got him and Green Arrow, we get a freaking Black Canary to go with them. Because if you remember that episode of Justice League Unlimited, my boy Atomic Skull was going to F this guy up. But I think Green Arrow fought him instead. And Wildcat F'd him up. So, funny how that works. The circle of getting F'd up. But before we wrap this up, bringing our two regulars, the Mythic Legions by the Mandibolith, whose feet I've adjusted so they're not all wiggly wobbly, as well as the infamous 11 Spawn, who, as usual, actually might be the same height. They're close to the same height. Close, not exact. So, with that being said, it is time now that we wrap things up with some final thoughts. Overall, and aside from the lack thereof of any accessories whatsoever outside of the collectible trading card and the hockey puck display stand we're used to seeing with all McFarlane Toys releases, I have to say that good old Wildcat here is just that, a good release. At the very least, he's got punching hands, and that's what a Wildcat does. It would have been nice to have some face plates and maybe some open hands, but at the end of the day, this is more likely than not how I would display him on my shelf, and I imagine it's how you display him too. I don't want to assume because I don't want to make an ass out of you, not me, but it is what it is, I suppose. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Until next time, I'll catch you guys later.